Welcome to This Open House, where we talk about all things real estate related. With your hosts, David and Rebecca Guthrie of the Hacienda Group at Long Realty Company.
Welcome yet again to another episode of This Open House. I am your host, David Guthrie, with my beautiful, amazing, talented wife, Rebecca.
Hi, guys.
Hey. All right, if you want to reach us off air anytime, 520-462-2611. You can text us, you can call with your real estate questions, show ideas, or anything like that. You can also go visit our webpage with full MLS search access, www.thisopenhouseshow.com. And you can also email us, info@thisopenhouseshow.com. Boy, last night was exciting.
Last night was fantastic.
Wasn't
Our
that
Wildcats did a wonderful job. They took the lead and they never looked back. It was a great game.
Yeah, well, towards the end, it got a little bit dicey.
Yeah, but you know, that's what makes it fun.
You know, I have a theory as to why these women are so amazing this season.
Why?
Well, it's their coach.
Yeah, I would agree.
This coach is an amazing woman. Adia Barnes, she has two small kids. She's juggling.
Yep.
6-month-old. I think she's probably nursing this baby
She
while,
is.
you know,
We
hyping
know
up the
something-
team halftime.
Yep, we know something about that. We know about taking babies to work.
Yeah.
We've done it.
I don't know any men's coach who could handle that kind of a thing. I mean, this is massive respect for this team.
They've done
they
a
are
great
working
job.
hard.
We're proud
doing
of our
a great
Wildcats.
job. Can't wait to see them.
Yeah, the game's on Sunday at 3.
Oh, what a great!
So
what a
we will
great
be
day.
there with. We taught our oldest the magic fingers trick towards the end.
the waving your
We
fingers.
put our fingers up. You can't see us, but we put our fingers up and you wiggle your fingers. And Benjamin's his confirmation bias is strong because
Every time he wiggled his fingers, a free throw would
Yep.
drain.
Every single time.
Yeah.
And the times he forgot, it didn't happen, and he didn't do it for the other team, and they didn't get their free throw.
Well, unless his younger sister did it, in which case that caused all kinds of chaos in the Guthrie household. But anyway.
She's a true middle child.
Yeah, absolutely. So congratulations to our Wildcats. It's nice to be able to cheer
It
Wildcats
is.
basketball.
It's good. It's a good thing to be able to cheer Wildcat basketball.
Absolutely. I've missed it.
I
I've
have
missed
too.
it.
I have too.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get into some other things.
We can start cheering the real estate market.
Well, there's a lot to cheer on. It feels like
it's way more interesting in the real estate market than it was even at the end of the game.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
The real
my
estate market's more
goodness.
like the Stanford game, the first game, because that came down to the wire.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
that
the real-
clutch offer getting in
yeah.
and all of a sudden getting accepted after you've, shown 20 properties to that buyer. And
Not
then,
just shown 20 properties, written 6 or 7 offers.
Right.
It's a little
And-
crazy out there.
And when you get one accepted, you really do. You want to go to your Facebook page and be like, we just got a VA offer accepted. Yes.
Yes.
Because, I mean, we're celebrating because
It's true.
it really...
It's crazy out there. I read an article in the Wall Street Journal the other day that said that there are more real estate agents in the United States than there are houses available to sell.
That's frightening.
It is frightening.
It's frightening.
It's very frightening.
Maybe the bar's too low or maybe what, but I think most of them get in and they think it's going to be extremely easy.
Right. Real
And-
estate is not hard, but it is complicated.
Yeah, the calculations that I have done on most agents' production when we're going through and we're breaking down, okay, you made X number of dollars on this sale. You've gone through. It took you this long, this many hours of work per week, minus your expenses, minus your. They're making. I mean, some cases I've seen $6, $7, $8 an hour.
Ouch.
Yeah. Look at your tax return, guys, not the settlement statement when you want to get in. And if you do want to get into this business, it is a great career. I
is.
think it is wonderful. And I happen to be of the mindset that Long Realty Company is the best place to be if you want to hang your license. Best training, highest market share. The culture is fantastic. And, it's a wonderful place to be. But, if you know somebody who's in the business, maybe ask them, what was your actual take home after expenses? Because those are the real numbers, guys.
Yep.
That's really where it's at.
So, speaking of numbers, how is the market looking? Because we weren't here last week, and so we didn't do our update. So,
Well,
it's been 2 weeks since people have heard of how the market's doing.
it is April 3rd, 2021. And looking at the city of Tucson, we have 636 current active listings, virtually unchanged
Okay.
from a couple of weeks ago. So, that's a very small amount. When I pulled this statistic in January, it was in the 800
Yes.
range. And so, that is a pretty small amount. But let's look month to month, 2021. We've had brand new listings coming on the market, 15,621 total. And that's down 6.3% from March 2020. In March 2020, there was 16,679. So that's new listings coming in. Let's look at closed listings. Closed listings, unlike most areas of the country where we are experiencing a downshift, a lot of that has to do with a lack of inventory, which is why the sales numbers are down. It's not that there's some sort of problem in the market. We do have a problem. It's lack of inventory and supply chain issues. But closed listings for March 2021 here was 14,279. That's actually up 2.7% from March 2020,
Right,
which
but
was
that-
13,800.
Right, but think about what happened in. So I guess April would be a better guess, because the stuff that got closed in March is going to be stuff that got in before all of the COVID panic happened.
True.
So I would not be surprised at all if the April and May numbers, and even maybe the June and July numbers, are significantly higher in 2021 than they were in 2020, simply because in April and May, in April, very few people. I mean, if you look at the charts, the graphs, it just it plummets.
We were like cuddling toilet paper and
Right.
eating rice and beans.
Right. Because nobody knew it was going to happen in the second half of the year. And so I actually would wonder if a better example or a better statistic would not be year over year, but the April or March 2019 to 2021 versus 2020, just because the lockdown really did impact business. And then one of the things that people don't really, I think, realize is that once you get under contract, your escrow can take anywhere from 30 to 60 days. So, everybody started coming out in the middle of May. May 15th-ish was when the governor said, okay, we can start doing this again. Say somebody started looking right then, they got under contract. They're not closing until the end of June, maybe the middle of July.
Yeah.
So I think as we're doing these statistics, that's a thing that people need to remember.
Well, let's just give it to them right now. So in March of 2019, there were 13,194 closed sales. Contrast that to March 2020, 13,889. Fast forwarding to now, 14,279.
Okay, so it is up in March.
We've
irrespective.
legitimate and the logic train. That's what's so interesting about these statistics is I do agonize over, well, how are we going to explain this to you guys with statistics? Do I go, let's just take a snapshot of the last 3 months? Do we want to go rolling 12? What do we want to do? The fact of the matter is that we have a lot of pressure on this market.
Yeah.
There are more buyers coming in here. According to the United States Census, looking at Tucson in particular, just zeroing in here, and that statistic is like a 5-year period ending in 2019, so it's going to change now. But the home ownership rate for owner-occupied residences was just over 50% for Tucson.
Okay.
Which is pretty interesting. So you have a lot of that. You do have a lot of renters entering into this market, quite a few as well. They're first time, nationally, first time buyers as a percentage of residential sales. These were either buyers who lived in their parents' basement and finally have moved out, or they're renting or whatever, was 31% nationally. A huge number of first time buyers
It is.
coming in, flooding in. And so we're seeing a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's just, and
It's
this
continuing.
isn't just, I mean, we can talk specifically about Southern Arizona because that's our area of expertise. But when you read the articles and do the research for this is true across the board. It doesn't matter if you are a suburb area.
Right.
you are seeing this pressure. And even places like New York and San Francisco, I read this morning in the Wall Street Journal, they're having an increase year over year in people wanting to come back and buy homes. They don't want to be renting anymore.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah, people don't want to rent anymore as much if they can help it. There's good reason to do it, but a lot of people just aren't wanting to go there. Let's look at pending listings. The listings that are going to be closed for next month after, up 9.3% from the same time last year at 14,960. So this is what's what I want you guys to take away from this is that what is coming in is going out.
right,
All
it's
right?
being absorbed very quickly.
It's being absorbed extremely quickly. 5 days on market is where we're seeing. It was 6 last time I did these statistics. So the days on market from the time of putting out to close is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And on the other side of the break, we're going to talk a little bit more about just the climate of this market and how things are going, the psychology of buyers and sellers right now,
Yep.
and psychologies of agents and
Yep.
how we're looking at this
So
thing.
we are going to take a break. We will catch you on the other side. Don't go away.
All right, welcome back yet again. David Guthrie, Hacienda Group, Long Realty Company with
I'm Rebecca Guthrie with
Rebecca Guthrie, the
Hacienda Group
one
at Long Realty
and
Company.
only.
The one and only.
The one and only. If you want to reach out to us, 520-462-2611. You can text the number. You can call the number. If you want to go have full MLS search with up-to-the-minute real estate information, you can go ahead and check out www.thisopenhouseshow.com. You can email us, info@thisopenhouseshow.com. We love your phone calls. You know why we love your phone calls? We want to hear what you have to say. Any show ideas? Text it over. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
If you have general real estate
Because
questions
you
or
guys forget,
specific ones.
we do this all the time. So sometimes we speak realties. That's realtries. I don't know how we want to turn it into a language, but we do speak a language, and we forget. We're in the process of selling our own house right now, and it's a good process for us because it reminds us of what our clients go through as they're buying and selling homes.
Absolutely.
But we forget that this isn't we do this every day. We have 11 deals in escrow right now. We know what we're doing, but if you don't, so if we're talking about something you don't understand, let us know.
Yeah, hearing about it from the consumer, the public standpoint is very helpful. And, like everybody else right now, we do have a listing shortage. This is a great time to be able to come in. Getting back into the psychology of our market here, your average, again, national, this is national, 4.1 offers on every single listing.
Wow.
4.1 offers. Now, I haven't done the math on this, but, Rebecca had mentioned earlier, the happy dance that we want to do every single time we get a buyer under contract.
Yep.
And the conversations we're having these days of, it's going to take some time
Right.
getting into the ring, and you're just going to have to be making offers, and something is going to eventually stick. But what does that do to the mindset of the buyer? I mean, they're sitting there, they're thinking, okay, if I'm going to have to write 4 or 5 offers, these are, it's not this is the best home and I'm going to be super, super picky like it's
Right.
been in years past. This is, I'm really lucky to be able to have the chance to have a closing date where I can get keys and finally start planning my life and give my notice to.
Yep.
And it's really great to know kind of what my monthly payment's going to be finally, because we've been dealing with this for a while. So, with that said, we have lots and lots of clients who their lease ends in August, September, October. In years past, we would say, you know what?
We would do 90 days. Here's
Let's-
where you need to be.
Yep, let's wait a couple months past. We'll go ahead. And in the meantime, if you find a unicorn, let's go,
Right.
work something out. No, it's let's start now.
Yeah, because it's gonna take that, and so there has to be, everybody's journey to buy a home is similar but different. The reason that you want to buy a home may not be the reason that your next door neighbor wants to buy a home. So you have to figure out, and that's part of what David and my job is to help you figure out what are the really important things for you. And I can't tell you the number of times where clients come in thinking, oh, this is really, the 3-car garage is really important. And then they bring us a house that has a 2-car carport. And we've been looking at 3-car garages, and they bring us this 2-car carport, and we're like, okay, we're happy to show it to you. We're more than happy to show it to you, but could you explain to us what it is about this that you like? And when they realize is, oh, what we like is the land. What we want, what we've seen is the 3-car garages on bigger lots, and what we really want is that lot size. We don't actually care how the cars are stored.
Right. Or we want that work from home feel.
Right.
Or that work out from home feel, where a lot of people, even post-pandemic, they're sitting here thinking, okay, I can get a weight set. There's a lot of great new products out there right now.
Yes, there are.
I could have a couple of things in my house. I don't have to drive the 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes to the gym, wait turns, have all of the... I can just walk into the room, work out, be done.
Yep.
I could just walk around the corner and go into my office, shut the door, and be done. And as more and more businesses are extending these stay-at-home policies and saying, you know what, we're going to just continue this indefinitely, it is changing the way that we are looking at homes.
It is.
It's no longer so much. We still do have some clients that say, I want a smaller home to take care of. But Rebecca, weren't you having a conversation the other day just with a random person in a grocery store?
No, I was actually getting my hair done, and
Okay.
I was talking to a woman who was sitting there waiting while complicated. Anyways, we were talking, and she has a big, huge house that they had been thinking about at the beginning of 2020 that they were going to downsize. And then COVID hit, and they decided that they weren't going to downsize because they wanted to be able to have the space, one, for them to spread out because they were still working, but two, they wanted their grandkids to be able to come and stay for long periods of time because they hadn't been able to see them for so long, that they decided as a family unit, their kids, the grandkids, that one of the things they're going to start doing once COVID is over is that the grandkids are going to come out for a month or two and hang out with the grandparents during the summer, and they can't do that in a smaller home. So they're going to keep this bigger home a lot longer than had been the original plan. And we're hearing conversations like that all the time.
They need the space.
Right.
And that's where, again, the same thing that we've been saying for months and months and months. If there are these reasons, well, this is the time. If it's not if you're not going to be happy with your property for the next 5 to 10 years,
Right.
now is the time to make this shift. And there's lots of ways that we can help ease that pain. But I tell you, I have so many people, and we try to consult with them and show them these things. They're like, well, a year ago, this was so much more affordable. And there are a lot of, I think, well-meaning people reporting on some of these things saying, wow, things are overvalued, and expect things to go down, or the homes aren't as affordable as they used to be, and this is a real issue. Well, if you really drill down into the statistics, Tucson is still extremely affordable for over 60% of 2 or more income earners in a family. And even a 1 income earner, there's still lots of affordability there. And if you poll real estate brokers nationwide, the vast majority for the next 3 months, 40% are expecting, anywhere from 1% to 5% appreciation and growth. It is the small numbers, like 1%, expecting it to fall 6 to 10% or 11 to 20%. We do not see prices falling, but why is that, guys? Why are we sitting here not expecting that? Is this as some would say, tulip mania, where we have this just insane lack of inventory and people are like, oh my gosh, I just got to pick this up. I don't think so. Because unlike tulip bulbs that just have value, or unlike GameStop stock, which, some people just put value on, homes are always going to have
People need to live somewhere. You don't need to buy GameStop stock and you don't need tulips, but you have to live somewhere.
You have to live somewhere. And based on the supply chain issues that we're having and current economy of these low interest rates with all the money that's printing, what we are seeing is, yes, affordability for that monthly payment, but we're also seeing real inflation.
Right.
And what you're looking at here, if we can rattle off stats of, things are going up X percent
How
all
much
day
does it
long.
cost to buy a gallon of milk?
What is a gallon of milk cost now versus 1990?
Or let's not do how a
1980.
gallon of milk is good, but let's talk about a loaf of bread. Same price, but are you getting as much bread?
Right. We're seeing the smaller loaves.
Right.
Smaller portions.
Smaller loaves, same price point, but it's not lasting as long. It's not getting as far.
Right. So we're sitting here with a very finite supply of a product, and we're sitting here with a supply chain issue that is really limiting anything new coming into the market here. We're seeing that on the rental side and on the brand new home side. And of course, we're going to see costs go up.
Right. It's basic supply and demand.
Everything. The cost just to get the lumber from one place to another is going up there. So, once again, let's get rid of all the hype, okay? 4 offers. You're going to, on every single listing, you're going to have to go in, get serious, be real.
Well, and also you need to understand that the psychology has switched even within the last month of the list price is at the bottom of where they think they're going to get. It's not the top. They're not hoping that they're going to get this and it might close lower. People are offering lots of money over.
Which still is a problem because even once you're under contract, 11% of terminated contracts were a result of appraisal issues in February. 10% of terminated contracts was a result of finance-related stuff. So, and we're not counting job loss because job loss only counted for 1% of these fall-throughs. So the majority were finance-related, appraisal-related issues. Now, that's not saying you're just going to go ahead and knock in, be stupid on a $300,000 price, offer $400,000. We're going to have the appraisal come in low and everything's going to be fine. No, that's not the right way to think about this.
No.
Some people are doing that kind of stuff though. But the fact of the matter is let's get rid of all of the high emotion. Let's get rid of the fact that there's a train of buyers waiting at the listing as soon as it goes live. And let's put this back into perspective, okay? How much is your current monthly payment on your rental or your house? Hopefully you're one of those 50% that's in an owner-occupied house right now. How much is it? Where are you going? What's that difference going to be?
Right.
And what kind of utility are you going to have in this
Where
next
do you
home?
want to be 5-6 years from now? Because that makes all the difference in the world.
Let's also look at this as a tool. This is a tool just like money is a tool, and let's not get too attached to it. And that's how we can get through this next process here. So guys, don't lose your head when you're making offers. Don't go out in outer space, but let's also keep it real and let's know the right one will come along. Every house has an owner and every buyer will get a house eventually if they stay patient.
Yep. So
stay patient.
That is our pep talk for this week. It's crazy out there, guys, and we know that. If you want to reach us, you can go to our website, www.thisopenhouseshow, or you can email us at info@thisopenhouseshow.com.
Yeah, and you can also call or text 520-462-2611. Guys, thank you for listening.
Thank you for joining us.
Go Cats.
Go Cats.